Morning, morning, morning.
Morning.
Week 18.
18.
You may notice, dear listener, reader, viewer, we have mugs. These are the mugs that people are stopping us in the street to talk about. Our town has plenty. Now has merch. There's more merch coming today. And these don't have the QR code on yet, but it's happening. So what we were quite astonished about is how good the inside colour and the handle works with our logo. Sweet. This was not planned, but it's like our segues.
I planned it.
Of course you did.
You really didn't plan this to do this well, but it would be genius. But yeah, so week 18. So the question is, dear viewer, this is the mug that gets a lot of attention. I love your mug, I love your mug. So what I might have to do is adapt a mug. I don't know what to do. What are your thoughts, dear listener? Let's have a talking point on that. What should we do about my I can't adult? We could write I can't adult all over this or something, but it's a talking point, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Maybe like a doodly fashion, so it's like a children's writing.
Yes, I do have the porcelain pens at home. Of course I have. Yes, being a cup and plate person. Yeah, so here we go, girlfriend.
Yeah, beautiful. They are beautiful mugs. And you get to look at our beautiful mugs as well, all of us.
Yeah, oh,
and
nice.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
I like that. You can tell she writes for a living.
And yeah, right, wonderful work on the branding, thank you. And people have been commenting online about, what's the bit behind it. It's Hastings and St Leonards. And
those little, blobs, they're maps of the town.
They are, yeah. So it does what it says on the tin, pretty much, runs to the style, doesn't it? So thank you so much. Really lovely.
Yeah, that was a proper sweat, that was, wasn't it?
I'm working on other stuff, so yeah, there's lots of other stuff happening too. So.
Yeah.
No, nice one.
Watch this space.
It is. It's a space. I just need to do a very quick shout out. There's going to be a photograph up behind us of Rainbow. Rainbow the rabbit disappeared last week in St Leonards at Warrior Square. St Leonards Warrior Square Station. So this is Rainbow, much loved soft rabbit, multicoloured rabbit. So there is word that it was seen sitting on the bench on one of the benches in the station. Rainbow is very missed. So if we can keep our eye out or start asking questions at the station, who knows where Rainbow is? Somebody knows where Rainbow is. So if we can do a shout out for Rainbow. So Rainbow, your person misses you, and you're obviously missing your person. So let's get our eyes on the actual prize.
So Rainbow's been seen one spot and then another.
No. He was. I say Rainbow. Rainbow was left at Warrior Square Station.
Oh, at the station. Okay.
Yeah, and seen on a seat. Okay. So now we need to know, is Rainbow had a wander off? Has Rainbow gone down to Warrior Gardens? Has he gone to St Leonards Gardens? Is he one of these wonderful soft toys that just has a mooch around town, seen in photographs? We need to find out where Rainbow is. So yeah, there we go. That's just a little urgency. Yes.
It makes me think of that children's story about the rabbit that turns into a real bunny.
Oh,
do you know it?
No. What's it called?
Oh my God, it's gone out of my head completely.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Honestly, this happens.
We're not going to keep to time.
It's the something rabbit. It's not Sylvanian, that's something else. Velveteen.
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
thank you.
I know that story. Yeah.
Velveteen rabbit. Yeah. I was asked once what love is, and I was like, love is when you're loved so hard that your ears fall off and your arms fall off, and my friend was looking at me like, what? But it was coming from the Sylvanian. No, said it again. Velveteen rabbit. I did also have quite a few. There's a massive Sylvanian rabbit, huge, in Priory Meadow at the minute, and I think that just keeps coming into my head. So maybe Rainbow's gone there.
So oh yeah, maybe Rainbow's gone
to commune.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That is terrible. That's my first time. Turn that off. Thank you very much. Maybe Rainbow's gone there. So let's keep an eye out. So the picture will be up and it will go up and then go down, then go up and go down. So it might well pop in. It might well sort of segue into different things as we go on today. That's no No pressure there, Jamie, if you're there to see for later. And he went, no, don't do this. So, what we got?
Well, this weekend, just gone, bank holiday, I spent a gorgeous time at Pop-Up Campsites, which is just off of Stonestyle Lane, off of the ridge, just past the Conqueror's March. So not far, which is great if you've got kids and you leave something at home. And it's a really calm, quiet place.
You did that, didn't you?
No, not this time.
Oh.
I've done it before. So I've been there since Arlo was 2, so he's now, nearly 9. And it's like the couple who run it, Tiz and Jules, they're so lovely. And they are based over in Brighton, but come and stay on site and they'll do anything for you. It really is wonderful. You arrive and there's pizzas cooked, on a kind of built oven. Actually, they used to have a little one of those slide in and out ones, but now they've just built one. And there are compostable toilets, and you don't take your own shower gel because they want to use the shower gel that they've got that is kind to the environment. So they've really put thought and lots of kindness and time into how to be there, but with a light footprint. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody. It's good for hanging out with groups of friends. It's also good going with little tots as well. So it kind of
I went
covers
last year
Did you?
with Dottie's mum and dad. Dottie's school friends and mum and dad's loads of us.
Yeah.
It's brilliant actually. It's booked again this year, but whether I go or not, don't know. But I will. I want to.
Yeah.
It's not working.
It's really
It's
nice.
a cool place.
It is
Yeah.
cool, yeah. And you know what? The thing I forgot about camping is you don't really sleep.
No.
Even if you're I was in a nice plush bell tent, and it was lovely. And
Do you
we had-
hire the tents?
Yeah, you can hire a bell tent there. They can set it up for you with bedding and all of it, or you can bring your own. And I mean, the first night, some people were having a wicked party somewhere, but we don't think it was on site because if it were, they'd have buzzed up and asked them to be quiet after a certain point. And then the next night, it was really windy. So I was just, but it's not about that. It's about the wood smoke and. I sent a few little stories on our Town Has Plenty where I was trying to give camping tips, but then realised that I hadn't recorded when I was doing the tip bit. But never mind. That was all about finding kindling in the trees. So looking for the tiny spaghetti thin sticks that fall down. So even if it's rained overnight, they've fallen down, and if you go thickest into the woods, you can find little bits that are still snap and sound like they're going to be good to light a fire with. So, and then you do a gradual fire build. And Arlo was learning how to cook on the fire and light fires, and he didn't look at a screen all weekend, which was kind of amazing. I did, because I was doing some bits, but it was just a really lovely time, and it was just it's so lovely being out in the fresh air like that. So it's another part of our town having plenty, is that we do have these incredible spaces and places and people who are investing their time and their energy into making them really welcoming and just perfect for. There's a bellhop, so if you want to bring your luggage, you can get there by taxi, bring your luggage, and then they'll buzz it up to your tent for you. You can buy logs there, and just the whole thing is it's pretty easy camping. So I would recommend it. Yeah.
Nice.
There you go. So thanks, Tiz and Jules, and maybe we'll get you on to chat about it more.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
Because our weekend was utterly overstimulated.
You needed to go to the woods.
I need to go somewhere very, very far away. If I says she wearing a jacket that just sends out all the vibes of India,
It's wonderful.
I can't. I've got nothing left in me. So what did we do this week? So we had a group outing, didn't we? We went to quiz night at the Seed. So yes, it was great. We really, really enjoyed it. So Seed is now there are 2 seeds. There's seed and seed that I don't know.
Number 26 and number 50, was it? Was it
Yeah,
26?
I think
Yeah.
It's what was Old Whistle Trago?
Yeah.
That's right.
God bless.
So exactly. So they're now opposite each other. So we went. It was mad. We We
came second.
We came second, yeah, man.
Did
Yes,
you get
that-
a prize for
That's at
something?
the end of my bit, but there we
Oh,
are.
sorry.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
so the two bars. So you've got these two bars. They're hilarious, and they're making paella in one bar, aren't they? And then they're serving different food in another bar. So there were lots of moving backwards and forwards in people with aprons and wonderfully dexterous young women with trays over their heads,
Yeah,
which was
they did really well with
they
that, yeah.
did so well how they navigate that. But you also had Alenka. So Alenka made the quiz. I love you, woman. With every fibre of my being for making the quiz as hard as it was, because it really made us think.
Yeah, it was a
But I
brilliant
also hate you because it was seriously hard. But she was so good. She was what a fantastic hostess. She was wonderful, wasn't she? So Rachel Spinetti appears in a sparkly muumuu, of course. So she pitches up with her vavavoom. So Our Town Has Plenty had a have I got the noisy chair? I picked up the
Maybe.
noisy chair. So it was great though, wasn't it?
That was our team name, wasn't it? Our Town Has
Our
Plenty.
Town Has Plenty. It was our team name. Fun, yes, it was really. We were exhausted because on a Thursday we are, aren't we?
Yeah, it was funny. We sort of all sat down, and I got there a little bit later. You were both having some food, and I was just like, "Oh gosh, we're all knackered."
We're all
Oh, God.
super tired.
But it picked up, and it was
It did.
it was joyous.
It did.
And
She was wetting herself laughing at certain things. Rachel running around really made her laugh out loud.
Yeah.
It's really
It
finished
was
her off. didn't it?
fantastic. Yeah.
But there were curly whirlies as prizes. There was a guy who'd won a plunger next to us, a toilet plunger, young person. I'm not sure he knows what to do with that, but there you know,
Rachel gave some tips.
Yes, answers on postcard. So he won that, and then there was a guy over the back there who won. He won a Rachel wig
That was so cool.
and a turban. So he put it on. Yes, I think the beard was. They're not in the same ballpark when it comes to beards, Rachel. But he was he was a bit shocked, wasn't he? You have to put it on, dear. So he had to put it on. But it was really, really fun. So she terrified young men with her banter. She really did. She had them sort of, oh, and it was like, oh, young people. You could see Rachel going, oh, fresh meat to play with. But it's great. So they do, it's a £3 entry per person for the pub quiz every Thursday. Paella and a pint for 12 quid. What's not to love? But they're lovely. The ambience is great. Seed is really fun. And but there'll be more on this. But we did come second. We were sitting there, weren't we, waiting for them to announce it. Rack's got his tongue out and they go, oh yeah, we were waiting. We were, weren't we? And it was like, how far are we going to get?
I thought we were going to go
How
down
far
low,
are we
but
gonna
we
get?
were pretty high. Yeah.
And then they said, so, joint second, and Our Town Has Plenty. I thought, yes,
Get in. Yeah.
we did well.
There were some tricky questions though. There really were.
Yeah, there were. But it was fun. It was an awful lot. It was great. But there's another one coming up that I'll talk about later at a different bar. So we're going to try that this week. So well done, Rachel, for being lovely, and thank you, Seed, for creating
Thanks, Seed.
something smashing.
Delicious paella as well.
Absolutely.
And it was nice to see Azza, but we'll talk about
I had
her
the prawns.
as well.
Rack had the
Prawns.
meatballs, didn't you?
Which were lovely.
You liked them, didn't you? Yeah. Prawns were delish. Yes, yum yum. What you got?
That was Thursday.
That's Thursday.
Okay. Well, Karen Simnett, who we have mentioned before, Yoga on Sea, and many other yoga practitioners in town are going to be gathering for the 21st of June for the summer solstice, doing 108 sun salutations.
Oh wow, that's a
And
lot.
you can join in, and there are modifications online as to if you don't want to do like the really hardcore version. So and it's
Pulling your leg forward through your arms.
exactly yeah
From a downward facing dog down into pulling your knee. And I'm like,
yeah. I always have to step it or
it's
hop,
got,
or
yeah,
I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah.
And I have to
Rainbow.
drag my leg round.
Every time we say hop, I'm going to say rainbow now, just in
Rainbow,
case we can
yeah.
find rainbow. And yes, so it's going to be to raise money for charity, which I've forgotten which charity it is. Feel like it's St Michael's Hospice. Not sure, so I'm going to check that and then come back to you a bit. But it's just going to be gorgeous. It's up on the Ladies' Parlour, which is the place that we've mentioned before, just next to Hastings Castle, up on the West Hill, and it's where, as you mentioned, knights would combat one another, and the ladies would
favour.
wave their handkerchief or whatever it might be. So, hence why it's Ladies' Parlour.
Yeah.
And it's a nice flat space, and you're looking at the sea, and you can be doing this incredible, 7 p.m. on 21st of June.
7 p.m. Nice.
So time for the sunset, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, because solstice it'll be a later sunset.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Not
Anyway.
sure. But they know exactly when it is, don't they? Which is why they planned it.
True.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Nice. Yes, quick review. She says, "What? I don't know how to do a quick review. I wouldn't know how to even start on a quick review." So Thursday we did seed. Saturday, Friday. What did we do? Mac? We stayed in, and we
Oh, good.
Friday night.
We can't go out. We daren't go out. We've got to sort of pack some sort of battery.
Yeah, we needed to rest.
We did. It was very much knowing what we had coming up. So, Sunshine on Sea, Chris McKenna, the most famous postman. If you've got a more famous postman, bring him forward. We want to know who your postman is. Or a lovely postman. Tell us all about your lovely postman. But Chris McKenna organised Sunshine on Sea last year, and this year it kind of had a more foundational feel. Instead of being Chris saying, "Oh well, I put this together," but wow. I said to Rack on Saturday morning, I said, I need to be at the Sunshine on Sea Festival. That's when my battery's going to get boosted, recharged. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. So we go, and so I'm going to go through so we went into the afternoon and back for the evening. So we went in, and it was a blustery day Saturday. It wasn't a great day to be out, to be fair. It was a bit sort of, bit springy,
Sure was.
So we were greeted by Simon and the Pope. What fun. So they open up. If you've never seen Simon and the Pope, they're a great little setup, aren't they? Yeah. So Simon's got this wonderful drum kit where he has got what's that pad called? That drum. It's a drum pad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a programmable drum pad. Yeah.
And then he's got cymbals, and his bass drum is a wonderfully battered old suitcase with S and the P on the front, which I was like, I so loved that. And anyway, so he's got and a snare, and he's a seriously good drummer. That guy has been drumming for a long time, but he's also been in some very interesting Charlie Higson on the Far Show, Charlie Higson. Oh. So he's been in the background when Jazz Club,
Nice.
Jazz Club, nice.
Yeah.
So he's the drummer in the background. So go Simon. So we had a bit of a chat about this. Anyway, going back to Saturday, Patsy, stay on task. Space Bossa Noodle made us laugh out loud. We were giggling all the way through. He's got great songs. They're really good songs. You got some drum and bass. You got some dry wit. And then what we weren't expecting was Ludo the dog. So at the end of every track every song they did, Ludo, who's very much part of the band, is up the back. At the end of every song. So Ludo knows when the end of every song is and comes in. So he's telling everybody, this is where you clap. So it was, and it made us laugh out loud, but it was a brilliant thing. It was lovely. So thank you so much, real genius. The Iceni tribal dancers, which are Chris's partner Liz's mum's original dance troupe. So Liz Palombo set up the Iceni tribal dancers a long time ago. She's gone now, Liz's mum, but Liz Junior. Can you have Liz Junior? Do we women have juniors? Well,
I guess, yeah.
Liz the second. She was there on Saturday. But the dancers were lovely with their little finger cymbals. I love them. So you'd have seen them in green at Jack in the Green when everyone calls them the belly dancers, but they're tribal dancers. But they're so good. So they came and did their thing, which was just beautiful to watch. Then they had an interval. Lily Kim and Tom Fryer came on after this note. So Lily Kim of Message from the Ravens. Tom Fryer is otherwise known as a solo player, but he's been in a few bands. He used to be in a band with my son years and years ago when they were teenagers. So they are now Coyote Cash on Instagram. So this I'm calling them a wife and husband duo. I'm going to be radical there. But lyrically, they're very, very clever. They're very good songwriters in their own right, literally WRITE. But they're very, very skilled musicians as well. So Tom had 2 guitars, Lily had 2 guitars, not playing at the same time, of course. But and then Tom whizzed over to the grand piano in the church, because it was at Christ Church. I forgot to mention that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the acoustics were just magnificent. And played on the piano. It was very, very lovely. And they have great banter between each song, which I'm always looking for. Good banter that tells you their story about the people. And by the time they'd finished their set, the room was smitten very much. So that everyone was sitting there going, "Oh, they're so lovely." So yes. And to finish off the afternoon set, we had Richard Moore, an extraordinary violinist. I can't work it out. Jamie, was he there? Was he? Do you know who was the violinist at the?
Oh, I don't know his name, but I know his face.
Yeah, you might have to look at his face and see if it's the same guy, because I couldn't find out actually fast enough. But this guy is very much an experimental in this particular set. He was really clever. If anyone's heard Philip Glass's music, I'm a big fan of Philip Glass. And because to me it sends off pictures everywhere when I'm listening to my synesthesia goes into hyperdrive. It happened here as well on that Saturday, didn't it? It was just absolutely amazing. So he said, this is a 17-minute piece. And it went by like that. It was so beautiful. It was so clever. And it was so broken up by lots of feelings. So there was no long melody. It was just...
Soundscapes.
It was soundscapes. Thank you.
Was it Richard Moore who's the violinist, and then you got
Anthony. Well, Anthony was on tech because Anthony.
So he was doing all of the not twiddling, I suppose. Yeah, the circuit bending.
The circuit bending, yeah. Because Richard was playing along to a track that he had also built of his own sound, so he was adding the live factor to all of the other sounds. Every sound was Richard. So it's whether it came through the recording or it came through Richard playing live, but it was a beautiful. It was fascinating. One of Chris McKenna's favourite pieces of music. So thank you, Richard. You had us all stunned, and they were stunned because everyone just didn't know what to do afterwards. It was like, whoa, what have we just heard?
Yeah.
So you bought this for St Michael's Hospice, Chris. This event. So I'm going to crack on. So the evening, we literally we have to clear the church now so that everyone else can come in and set up for their evening acts. So it was like, have we got enough time to run home, eat quickly, feed the cats, and get back out? Yes, we did, and we did exactly that to the minute, didn't we? So the evening started with we had an hour. An hour. Yes, so it started with Ben Mayer, the lovely tall drink of blonde beautifulness that is Ben Mayer. So he's got these like cool country croons. He writes a lot of his own stuff, which was really, really superb. But it was wonderful. He also covered some stuff. Don't think you need to cover stuff, Ben. Your stuff's enough. It's so good. But it was a beautiful sound. So thank you, Ben, for being there. And your humility was absolutely delicious. He knows what I mean. Then in comes Juliet Russell. Now, I used to sing in Juliet Russell's choir. That was my first choir I'd ever sung in.
Vocal Explosion.
Vocal Explosion.
Yeah.
They're famous then. And them's famous.
Them's famous.
So Juliet comes in. I don't think Juliet's even 5 foot tall. But my word, what she packs.
She got power.
She's got incredible power.
Definitely.
She's got an enormously evocative sound. She sings fado, Portuguese folk, and for someone to do that, you know, this tiny little woman brings this enormous sound, but she can also really hold a room. Really hold a room, and I ended up crying watching her because it reminded me of such good times. But she came with her duo originally at the beginning of the evening, Frank Moon and Bjorn McAteer Dahlberg. So Frank Moon was on the oud, a lute basically, like an old-fashioned guitar, which sounds really cheeky.
Beautiful sound.
But it was a beautiful sound. So all I could hear when Frank started to play was I could smell arid earth, scorched red arid earth when he started to play. It was just incredibly transporting. And when Bjorn started to play, there are these wonderful ugab pipes, which they played back 1,000 years ago, because the music comes from 1,000 years ago. And Bjorn could mimic that with the clarinet, and it touched every bit of soul in your body. It just really was just fantastic. So it's music from the 1400s Sephardic folk. It was wonderful, so much longing. So they did their set, and Juliet's ululating and vocal gymnastics were just astonishing. Check them out. They're very worthwhile listening to, extraordinary. And so then, her humour always gets me. So much self-effacing humour, Juliet. I love you so much. Then she brings in the choir. Now, when I was in the choir, it was much larger. This just goes to show you don't need a very large choir to make a very big noise. Wow. I knew some of the songs, which was wonderful. I was joining in. It was really, really lovely. But they commanded the space, Vocal Explosion. Brighton and Hastings Vocal Explosion, they really, really commanded the space. And they started with the South African song Wakanaka, which I know very well. And they went on to go through across Europe, across Eastern Europe, into to Georgia, and then back to South America. But it was just a beautiful sound. And they did, but the thing that haunted everybody, I think, was Agnus Dei. So Agnus Dei is normally sung by 3 people, and it's sung in a church. It's always sung under an arch. It's always sung in somewhere where really the acoustics work. But this group, you'll see the photographs up here, they just took it away. All you can hear behind me was, oh, and wow, it was just astonishing. So, yeah, it was beautiful. It was a wonderful, wonderful sound. So, and then we had a lovely hug out as well afterwards. Thank you, Juliet. You're such a gracious human. Lovely to connect with you again. And yeah, that was lovely. So after that, there was the raffle, which was hilarious. It was long, wasn't it? It was so long. There's quite amusing photographs of everybody going through the raffle. And Chris, that was wonderful, very, very funny. And then after that, we had Sarah Jane Morris, Mike Willis and Tony Reamy. So Tony Reamy on guitar. Deep red silk velvet sounds he brought from that guitar. That man is a genius. Mike Willis with his songwriting and his guitar dexterity. And Sarah Jane Morris with the range that woman can bring. Who asked, can I come on the podcast? I went, yeah, of course you can. Please, very, very soon. It'll be an absolute joy. I will come on your podcast, she said. Oh, I'm so happy. But the gig was an hour of. They said, "What a lovely room we have here," and I thought it was, and it felt like a very intimate setting, didn't it? But they sang fantastic songs written by themselves, and they made us cry, the pair of them, with their own ability, and Tony's playing. The whole trio was just a beautiful sound. So there was intense loss, life stories, and songs of defiance and strength. But it was a great, great set. So her hands hurt from clapping. So it was such a good time. If you get the chance to go and see any of these people live, please do not turn that opportunity down. Otherwise, you will regret it.
Was it recorded at all?
No.
That's a shame.
Which is a shame, because that would have made a fantastic.
There's a lot of stuff like that goes on here that is just so precious and gorgeous sounding, and I'm sure it wouldn't take much to, record.
No, exactly.
I just wonder if there might be.
Yeah, it was a banquet. It was an absolute banquet, and we were sated, definitely.
I need to get in touch with the sound guy. I forgot his name, but whether he recorded it or not, I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, you have to go through the ramifications of. But it was, that's why. But the thing is, recording something, great. Turning up,
Being there,
being there, buying your ticket, supporting the bands, supporting the venue, supporting sound engineers, supporting the choirs. Do that. That's what I'm angling at. It's nice to have a recording, but actually, you can't odds the fact that when you turn up to a gig, sometimes when people record stuff afterwards, they're like, "Oh, it's a bit this and a bit but I was there," and you didn't hear any of that. All you knew was you were absolutely caught up in the ambience.
Yeah, you don't feel it. You don't feel it on a CD.
No.
Yeah,
no,
it's that relationship between the audience and the performers and the space itself that creates that.
Absolutely. And also listening to the storytelling between each one, and watching the facial expressions. What I loved about watching Sarah Jane Morris is the fact that she's so wonderfully animated. So when she sings and she plays, that there's this enormous. She gets so involved in it. You can't see that on a. You can't.
You
can't.
can't.
It's on a bit of vinyl.
It's true.
So go and watch them. Support our town's plentiful musicians. We have got so many.
And it's good to hear about a place that has good acoustics. That's often a bit of a challenge in the town, isn't it?
No, that needs to be used more.
So the fact that Christchurch is a usable space and a beautiful space to be making and sharing music and performance is worth shouting from the rooftops about.
Absolutely.
Basically.
It needs to be utilised more in that way, because I've always associated Christchurch with a really, high order classical pieces. You don't need that. That shouldn't be at the end of its repertoire. It really lends itself to everything that was played, everything. Simon, right the way through. All the way through, from Simon at the beginning to Sarah Jane at the end, and crew, the whole lot lent itself. Lent itself. Yeah. But everyone came away smiling ridiculously. Everybody walked away sort of, oh my God, it was so good. Yeah, it was so good. We got girlfriend. Sorry, that's long.
No, it was gorgeous. Really, thank you. I feel like I was there with you. So I realised I messed up on the news there that I gave about who is going to be benefiting from the Sun Salutations. It's actually part of Refugee Week, and they're raising money for the Refugee Body Project, which is
a local charity.
So, local charity who provide incredible support for families and individuals arriving in Hastings from countries experiencing war and conflict. So that does lead on pretty nicely to Refugee Week generally, which is the theme for which is community as a superpower.
Nice.
And I've worked with Rosanna Leal, who runs the Refugee Body Project, and we were together going up to Leeds when I was working with the museum, because the project that was done in partnership there won an award in February for Best Small Museum Project, and it was to do with sharing food around a table and sharing stories about objects that people who have been refugees and arrived here carried with them, and it's an incredible film to watch. It's really, really beautiful, and well, worth looking at some more. So we'll put a link to that as well.
Nice.
But yes, the Refugee Week activities will be happening over at the Delaware Pavilion. On the 20th of June, there's a private view for an exhibition of Community as a Superpower, which was put together with the Refugee Buddy Project members, and also Stitch for Change and Young Creatives Collective, which I think might be a group attached to the Delaware Pavilion, but I'm not quite sure. So, but yes, it just sounds like, stitching and quilting and all sorts of things seem to be sort of in the ether at the moment.
Very on vogue.
It's all happening. So there's a bit more about that later as well. But the fact that, what we kind of are riding on here is the fact that our community is absolutely a superpower, and to be, holding everybody in that space, and
also during stitching, when you're stitching together, when you're sewing together, when you're knitting together, crocheting together, the conversations are wonderfully juicy, aren't they? They're very. It's like cooking together. When a big group of people get together and cook, they chop in and they talk.
It's that thing, when you're in flow. It's that absolute thing with clay as well. When you're making, materials together, somehow something with your hands, allows your brain to go deeper in a way, and to share more, and it's a lovely thing to be able to do that in community. It seems to be something that people are really looking for at the moment, so I'm very excited about that happening. To you on the next one.
Nice. Church of Duster. Heather Duster. I need a duster, really. I should have duster in her honour.
Did you have a little J-cloth in your...
I did have J-cloth. We waved
got one
it.
last year.
We waved J-cloth as we sang
Good.
Robbie Williams ballads.
Did you? Brilliant.
It was hilarious. So the alternative Sunday service. I don't know where to start, really. It was colourful. I've just got one word, really. Colourful, musical, bizarre, burlesque, cabaret. Cheeky but very, very clever. The funeral of Henry the Hoover. So the music they chose for Henry the Hoover, you remember that, Jamie?
Yeah.
Hallelujah. They changed the words. Henry Hoover.
Excellent.
But it was really, really clever. It was super playful, super colourful, right in your face, funny. They put the fun in funeral, is where we're going with that, really. There was a wonderful escapologist there, and he picked out two guys.
I think that's...
Oh, hang on.
I don't know.
Are you expecting someone?
No, not yet, no.
Have you got a delivery?
No.
Oh, we should really carry on.
Yeah.
So
Duster.
So
Henry Hoover.
Henry the Hoover. So Henry the Hoover was in this big coffin, and they did a big service for Henry, and it was very funny. But when the escapologist came on, John and Luke were the volunteers, and I went, Matthew and Mark couldn't make it, so it was, they failed to show. But it was super inclusive. It's there was a wonderful crowd, and everybody was laughing. But it was all about solidarity. It was all about Sweet FA. This wonderful minister gets up, does a piece. But it was good old fashioned clean fun. And Heather Duster and your wonderful team of artistes, hats off to you. You worked so hard.
Hats and habits off.
Hats and So it was great. It was superb. So next time go and check it out, because they're going to have another one next year. But it was really, really good fun. So we're going on to the compound. Where's Rag?
I don't know.
So we're going on to the compound. What's on at the compound? So remember, we've talked about the compound, haven't we? Jamie, what have you got to say about the compound? What do you think is happening?
Well, I know there's a children's festival, which is part of Curious as well, which is the Little Mashers. That's happening this weekend. Then there's an adult.
Hello, darlings. It's PA Uri. I've heard good things about your podcast.
Oh my God.
I have a gift for you. This is for you, darling. It's the PA Uri show now. A mustache. Sweet Jackie's running outside with the baby mamas. Take care. That's what you do in a podcast.
I'll see you now, shall I?
What is that?
So
Oh.
anyone who knows PA Uri's work, PA Uri's a bit of a ledge, and I don't.
It just happened.
PA Aliens St Leonards. I love the way he calls it St Leonards.
I love the jacket. That was very nice.
He's my neighbour. He's our neighbour, isn't he? He lives in Markwick Terrace, and we're up the
Oh,
road.
yeah,
aren't
yeah.
we?
Marquis.
He's the Marquis of Markwick.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of.
Didn't he comp us? He comped us into.
He's got his jag on here. Look, with Uri as the number plate.
Nice. I thought I
And him
saw
in his
that
coat.
he comped us into a picture with like Wu-Tang Clan as the like marker on it. Did you see that?
That was right.
That was Rack.
That was
Yeah.
me, I did that.
Oh, I thought that was.
No, no, I said to Matt, will you Wu-Tang us? I asked him.
I was like, oh, we've been arted.
I said,
It's you.
yes.
That's
We sat there on the couch and talked about it, and he went
Oh,
off and
nice.
did
I
it.
had this funny moment, so I just thought, let's just,
Well,
let's
yeah.
just do it. And it's just,
Okay. That's okay.
Yeah, that's.
Thanks, PA.
I,
Aliens. St Leonards.
wow.
Yuri. That's wicked.
We need to
Let's
frame it.
that, yeah.
We need to frame
Looks
it.
good.
It needs to-
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
Yeah, we're all aliens here. I swear blind we're all aliens here. We're all from another planet, aren't we?
Yeah, for sure.
So the compound.
focus.
I know.
There was the Little Matches festival.
right.
That's for the kids.
Yeah.
And then I think the closing party for the Curious Festival is the Play Bus, which I believe is on Sunday. It might be Saturday night. I have to look that one up. And that's an adult thing for an adult party, sort of bring your own.
Yeah, first, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think they'll have their the wonderful food that you were talking about last week.
Oh yeah, so Drip and Pig are going to be there. So for this week we've got the What's On is 29th of May. They've got the Curious Kids Day, a day full of discovery and play. So they've got that there. It's ticketed, so check out. We've got all the links here. The Drip and Pig are going to be there on the 30th, which is the Friday. I want to say, the Friday.
Yeah.
So they're great. Go down and check them out. They're lovely. Jessica and Anthony. Yes, go and fill your boots from 5 p.m. And then you've got 31st, Silent Fitness with Freedom Dance, a unique fitness experience. Book online. Me and Fitness don't have the best experience actually as a couple. We've fallen out. The girth can show because the jacket doesn't. Damn it! Doesn't damage.
Janet.
Doesn't. I know exactly. Damn it, Janet. Yeah, exactly. Oh, now I need a Times newspaper and a water pistol. If we're going to go into Rocky Horror, sorry. I was there at one of the first ones. That's an old one. Yeah, Freedom Dance. Yes. So there's lots going on at the compound. There's lots more that we will cover, but that's just for this month. Yeah.
Nice one, compound.
Nice. We love the compound. Good old Carol and Simon. Simon's got a very good sense of humour. I love Simon. He is very funny. We like Simon a lot. We like Carol a lot too.
Yes, we do.
Yes, Baz, we love you, mate. We love you. What you got?
Okay. So
I just need to tell you.
yeah.
I've got a bell coming. Hotel reception bell. Should be here today. So I think what we need to do is bell each other in.
Okay.
Bing,
Bing. Your turn. Bing.
bing.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
just
Yeah.
letting you know.
Valid.
Valid.
Bing.
Valid.
Valid.
Yes, valid.
Yeah. Exactly. Hastings Advice and Representation Centre,
Oh.
which is actually Hark, which is a charity shop on Queen's Road at number 44, I think. They are asking for people to pitch up to do installations and displays
Oh.
to make their shopfront look all exciting.
That's a
I thought,
great
right, in
idea.
this town, there'll be folk who can help. So yeah, they're looking for that for their Queen's Road shop window. So
Nice.
I'll send up the links and stuff, and let's see if we can help them there, because that's quite an exciting opportunity.
Yeah, I think it is. And it also, so if they have the birth at Hark, there's no reason why they all can't do that. Actually.
Exactly. No, it'd be great to see a kind of little bit of a pattern of that across town, because there are definitely some shop fronts that I've walked past and thought, oh, they could be really exciting in a different way, and
all the stock they've got inside them.
Exactly. Yeah. So, but also, they're clever to be calling out for it, because it's not something that, as a voluntary run charity shop, you can always, you might not have the skills in the team, so to call out like that, I think is fantastic. Over to you again. Ping pong.
So the bank holiday weekend finished. It did finally finish. There was an end. We didn't think there was going to be an end, but there was an end.
It sounds like we're still all coming down.
I know.
I think so. Yeah.
I wouldn't mind, but I had no alcohol over the weekend apart from a little drink on Friday at home because I felt safe. I was rocking. I don't dare have alcohol when I'm out. I'm just too overstimulated. So St Leonards Church hosted, through the wonder that is James Matthew Thomas, who organises these events, the church craft market. So thank you, James Matthew Thomas, for. Do we call you James Matthew Thomas all the time, or do we call you James Thomas? I don't know. But he keeps popping out from behind pillars whenever I, Patsy, ooh, Patsy, ooh. So, hello, love. One day we will stop and we will chat, and we will actually not be doing that quite. As I'm doing a live to Facebook, James is always just coming in his shop. Yeah, he's always there, which is great. Very, very hard-working man. So I wish I could have been at your event at the Observer Building, but I can't clone myself, not yet. At least.
Same here.
But that looked beautiful. So 10 out of 10. But he put on the craft market during the village fete. Now, that is, when you think about how a village fete works, which is Victoria sponge
Competition.
dog shows, vegetable carving, cake decorating, hula hooping. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go down this in a little regimented fashion. So inside the market, let's go inside the market first. So you had Sanders the Roper, lovely Hattie. So I bought some more cards from you because I love your cards. So the cards and prints. Erica Smith, handmade crystal jewellery. I saw her doing it with her special table. She has a special table that she does it, this grey table. And I was like really nerding out on this table with her beautiful crystal jewellery. Ursula and Steph, so we did a Facebook live on that one, that was funny, with their beautiful designs. I bought something, thank you women, I love you. Helen Sharpe with her new line, which is embellished. So we did a live for that. It doesn't fit me, but I don't care, because isn't it the most beautiful
stunning.
thing you've ever seen? It's like it was made for me. And she's funny because she said when her mum sent her the trims, I said, oh, these are sari trims, Indian sari trim. So she said, yeah. She said, sorry, that was the chair. She said, oh, you might want to throw that one away. I said, no, because I want another jacket done with that. So I'm going to send you another jacket for that. But she embellishes all these by hand. She said, I must get out the sewing machine. I went, no, do them by hand, they're much nicer. So this is my one. I tried to win the, so thank you, Helen, I love you. And everybody loves the jacket, it's getting a lot of love. I tried to win the Tombola prize, the Lego.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
Guess who won it?
Who?
Dottie.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
Well done,
Oh, I'm
Dottie.
very happy then.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. That's exactly who needed to win it. Yeah, a child needed to win it. Not a big child, a small child. A proper child. So, oh no, that's really good to know. Oh, well done, Dottie. I'm so happy. Thank you, Julia, for your wonderfully entertaining banter and repartee, and the beautiful jackets you also wore. Our friends at 3D Print Hive, were there showing off their enormous new dragon. That is not a euphemism. They do have an enormous
Massive.
dragon. It's
So
huge,
good.
isn't it?
Right.
I don't know. Was it? I couldn't work out how long it was. Do you
I
remember?
don't know exactly how long it was, but I didn't want to touch it.
No.
They look like they fall apart, but they don't.
They don't.
They're really strong.
No,
Yeah.
they're not assembled post. They are made on the 3D printer,
Yeah.
conjoined.
Imagine.
Every joint is made within it. How that boggles my mind. So they said, "Oh, Patsy, look," and yes, your mugs are coming, guys. There was tap dancing from Tap on Tap. They were fantastic. They were upstairs on the big stage. Their ankles worked very hard, so well done, all those wonderful women. We were whooping in the aisle. I spun a granny, because you could spin a granny. I spun one in real life. She nearly had a fall. So we played with the Punch and Judy, didn't we? So photographs up here. We were Punch and Judy's, had a picture taken.
That was great. I loved those.
Yeah,
pictures.
I know, it's really bonkers. We dressed up for the duster, didn't we? We put on the clothes for the duster. Xena Flame came out and did the wonderful hula hoops. That woman is so incredibly dexterous and flexible. It's just, whew. There was a wonderful dog show with, so it was hosted by the Reverend Colin Durr. See what I did there? Colin Durr. So,
Is that because it's holy?
oh,
That's
do you-
a joke, isn't it? I think.
no, I don't know.
Oh, right, okay.
Oh,
Could be.
it could
Yeah.
be. Well done for
Nice.
spotting that. That's why we're married. Because you're on tap entertainment, which is always fun. But they had this dog called Freddie who looked like Basil Brush. Now, I know Basil Brush was a fox, but this little Freddie walked towards me with this tail and these ears. And, Freddie, you look like Basil Brush. So Linda from the council was one of the entries. The dog called Linda from the council. So sprightly, it legged it up over the wall.
Wow.
Which was, yes, trust me, that was something to behold. So, as we said, there was my cat.
Cats come.
Yeah, the cat's
along.
fluff.
Yeah,
Fluff.
gets everywhere,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
everywhere. Cake decorating, vegetable carving, drum workshops. It felt like the WI were very present. So it was superbly Jam and Jerusalem, but it was very, very funny. So well done, Curious, for bringing it.
Yeah, have a good rest now, Curious. You've done well.
Because we're definitely booking out. We're all out.
Well, you're not done
Curious.
yet, are you? They're almost done.
Yeah,
They're almost
yeah,
done.
but I'm not going to anymore. I think, well, maybe. Well, okay.
Let's see what happens.
I might have FOMO and then that might, and it might be a lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got? Ding.
Ding. So queer quilting, which is a invitation from Axel Forrester. I mentioned the other week that I've been talking with her about it. Well, it's with Ness down at the Unzipped Cafe. And it's quite a small Ness Newman. Hello, Ness. We need to meet. I haven't seen her in real life yet, but we've been in touch.
I'll
And
miss her.
it's just been really fun. I love it when, you know, an artist comes up with an idea and then it just sort of grows and then suddenly it's a real thing and then suddenly we're all doing the thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what's happening with the queer quilting now. So it's an exploration of queerness and quilting, what people feel queerness is for them, and also what quilting is for them. And it's going to be a journey together. You don't have to make a full quilt in the 10 weeks that you're there, but you might make a little pad, or you might help someone else with their creation. And also quilting as a kind of idea, I've never made. I'm not that brilliant at sewing, to be honest. My lines always go a little bit wobbly.
Don't have to be for quilting.
But you don't have to be for quilting, and this is more about what it does for you. So there's such a lot of history, isn't there, in making quilts, in the fabrics that you were talking about with the saris, you know, and I'm sure you told me before about old saris being used as banners and as bunting, and
There used to be curtains in our old house. didn't there?
curtains, exactly. And just there's a movement. It's a big movement. You can look it up online around quilting generally. But I am excited to be a part of this group. It's only 8 people that are going to be, because
Are you going to
space
do
is
it?
quite small. I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm stepping in. I told you.
I like
Like Susan Sharon did for some reason, but anyway.
Yeah.
And I wanted to write a bit because it made me think, read you a bit of what I've written about me, my practice, and like what quilting might be. So for me, urban design, regeneration, master planning, mapping people, events, times, individuals, historic gems, locating them in a place is like, I imagine, quilting. It's like a patchwork. It's an act of reclaiming and of naming and choosing patterns, palettes, and in the practice of scanning, seeing the potential of an artist who feels like a fish out of water, not connected, lost and confounded in a maelstrom of ideas, I can see plain as day where they might fit best. So like when you choose your piece of, cloth and you know that that's going to go well there, or also quilting and that notion of patchwork or collage fits really well. I was thinking about your practice as well, Rack, in terms of piecing together a graphic design and the different textures and just how you position things makes all the difference, doesn't it? Same with making a film, same with putting together what we do here, what you do with piecing together the different stories. And it's just like, so everything we're doing is patchworking and reclaiming and making something quite beautiful out of the things that we bind and bring together. So that was kind of a little thought that ran through my head. And it's exciting. Erica Smith's coming along. I think there are a few spaces left still. So again, we'll put the slide up and the link to, talk to Ness about joining. But it is small, but I think it's going to be something that grows. And it doesn't have to be that you create a patchwork quilt by the end. You could be making a journal that ends up being a quilt, so it's really...
Well, a quilt is a journal.
Yeah, exactly. So
Quilt's a journal, there's no doubt about it. Anything that's made, it's a bit like when you crochet granny squares. Each square is a page, and they're all from different things. So when you put them all together and they make something rather beautiful. But I always felt that they're journals, really.
Yeah, and the stories behind them and that idea, as you were saying earlier, of stitching and slowing down. It's just... Yeah, in a world where you can get very much, I really get in my head and everything gets overwhelming, to have a space where actually you just need to show up and slow down and be with other people is it's healing, isn't it? So so that's Queer Quilting with Axel and Ness over at Unzipped.
Nice.
Yeah.
Unzipped on by the post box opposite the Azure on the seafront. You can't miss her.
That's it.
It's a wonderful place. Yeah, no, it's great. Well done for creating that, Ness. Something else we went to. So we went to the opening of Friends of All Stations, the park, the little tiny park. So Suzanne Horgan, knew Suze when she was involved with the Pocket Park years ago, which started as a concrete paving place, which she turns into... You went, didn't you?
It's like a lovely sanctuary space.
Exactly.
Growing and activity. And
and kids being able
things
to
for
be...
kids to do.
It's like I say, when I'm hunched over looking at something like kids do when they turn over rocks and they're like, ooh, and it takes you ages to get to nursery because they have to turn over another rock and they have to explore it and then they have to look at it and then they have to talk about it and you always set off half an hour early because you know it's going to take you ages. This is what she created in the Pocket Park. So the kids got involved in it, they helped build it and they learned about nature. She's done it again. Well done, darling. So the opening of the new community garden next to Wall Station was last week on Friday. We met some really interesting people, didn't we? It was lovely to meet these lovely people we knew. The great and the good came out, as they always do, because that's what happens. But she was radiant, Suze, when they made their speeches. But when everyone goes home and the tent goes down and the boxes of cakes go away, you've got this beautiful little oasis up at Orr, which really, really is lovely. So it was derelict, and she always sees the vision, Sue. So for that, I absolutely applaud you. Always admired you. She's turned this into a beautiful space, the ponds, so you see from the photographs, to attract the wildlife. The beds are already teeming with beauty, but when they really start to establish, that garden is she's just so lovely. So if you live in the vicinity, go and have a look. It's just off the platform, literally. And or if you use the station, just go and admire it and pass it on. Well done, Suzanne, for your work. Bless you, and your wonderful team.
Big fan.
Absolutely. Yes. What you got?
Orchestra from everywhere.
Oh,
So this is
sounds
another
nice.
attached to Refugee Week, and I wanted to read out so I don't get it wrong what they say about themselves. But basically, they are an orchestra of classical musicians from around the world who have chosen to make Britain their home. And they come from Syria, Iran, Hong Kong, Palestine, Ukraine, and India, playing traditional music from their own cultures as well as new music that they've created and played together. So they are coming to town, to St John's Church on Brittany Road on Sunday the 22nd of June at 7:30, and it just sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful, and definitely worth a visit and a look. So just wanted to get that shout out.
Yeah, no, we're very blessed, aren't we, with international singers and players.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good. Oh, 22nd of June. That's going to have to go in the diary. I really want to see that. And St John's, there's
St
another
John's,
church
yeah.
with the most magnificent sound quality at the top of Pevensey Road. Pevensey and Brittany, where they come together at the top.
That's St John's, that one, is it? I've never been inside that one.
Have you not?
Oh,
It's beautiful.
check that
Yeah,
out.
I've seen lots of people in there. Played in there. Yeah. Yeah. Yum yum. Oh, okay. Shout out for Bottle Alley Arts Market. Dan and Neil, Zero Arts, here they come again. So not only are they wavelength, which is the keeping of, I'm so sorry I didn't get down last week. I couldn't do it. I just didn't have it. Guys, I'm still on your list for volunteers. Painting Bottle Alley, so all those lovely columns that are in the cascading colours backwards and forwards. Anyone who wants to volunteer, the details will be underneath. But the 23rd of August is the bank holiday weekend, so that Saturday they're taking over Bottle Alley again, which is just the most joyous thing. You can't get down it. Well, I can't get down it in less than an hour. So whenever we go, it takes us an hour to traverse that 440 metres.
And the rest.
And the
Okay,
rest, yeah.
am I being on the?
Yeah,
I think I'm being a bit generous there, aren't I? It's probably nearer 2. But you just stop and it's a hug fest because all the great artists and a lot of people you don't know. I bought loads of stuff from them last year. It was great. And I think last year was where we met Jess from Colourville. Yes, Jess needs to be a guest actually. We need to talk to Jess. She works for Simon, who's at Colourville. So that's how I got to learn about. We talked about this weeks ago, didn't we? I can't remember. How old are we? 18 weeks?
We're 18 weeks
We're 18
old,
weeks.
yeah.
Yes. So there are 60 places available, 60 pitches. But they've also got 10 additional pitches this year offered free or for low or no income younger artists or graduates. There is no excuse, guys. If you're fresh out of the box or you're on low income or whatever, and you're young, get in, take one of those 10 pitches or even share it. You might be able to share it if you can be a bit creative. So we're putting the details at the bottom of the podcast. So they're looking for fine artists, painters, printers, photographers, collagists, stitchers, sculptors, knitters, ceramicists, performers. The world's your oyster, really, pretty much. But there was a woman there last year, and I bought her wares, and she used a typewriter to type out pictures of people. So somebody would sit opposite her. So we bought her tea towels, didn't we? And she was using a typewriter, and she was looking at somebody, and she was doing a picture of their face.
That's cool.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
That's
Now,
amazing.
come on. It just knows that the creativity knows no bounds. So bottlealley.org. Yeah, so details are below. Ding.
Was it last week you mentioned the gypsum and whether or not that goes into
Last week.
paints? So plant
Gesso.
paints, yeah, plant paints and how to extract pigment and make paint from plants. Is something that's on offer at Veterans Growth, which is out in Westfield. So it's a charity who offer support and creative health activities to support veterans who might be experiencing PTSD, people from all sorts of walks of life where that sort of an experience may have impacted them, but also offer it to the public to join in. So there's a lesser
So it's not
rate.
exclusively
It's not
veterans.
exclusively veterans, no. So there's a lower rate for veterans, and then also the public can join in. So that's Monday the 9th of June for this particular one. I just was really interested I didn't know about Veterans Growth at all, so it just popped up on my radar, and thought it was worth a look, because they do lots of horticultural activities and it's just
plant.
exactly
Yeah.
So interesting.
So going back to the old art.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, reclaiming that, I guess, another reclaiming.
Yeah, love it. Nice one. Westfield, not far.
Not far at all.
Just down past Sainsbury's, turn right. Is that right? Yeah, turn right, Westfield. Not far at all. Right, now I'm going to rattle through these. So this is the gigs shout out. So what we got? But before I do that, Joe Hughes, thank you so much for your coffee. It was very generous. We love you. You're an absolute star. Joe Hughes, the partner of Justina Kachansky.
Oh, right.
So thank you. So we need to put them together for context, but Joe Hughes, that was a lovely thing you did. We really, really appreciate. So we will use that now for more merch and to promote the podcast. For those who already want the mugs, they will be coming. Do not worry. So we've got some gigs. Longshore Drifters at the Honky Tonkers, and they support the Aftershave, who are the South Coast, Sultry and Western. I like that. Are at the Keno, Norman Road, June the 6th at 7:30, listed underneath. Benoit Velafont and his Hot Club. Now, I'm gutted I'm going to miss this because we already had plans, but they're on this weekend, 31st of May. He's a local musician, Benoit, and his Hot Club are Latin, swing, gypsy swing, jazz, French, Italian, because I'm a big fan of Django Reinhardt and Stefan Grappelli, so I love anything from that era. You put that on, I'm a happy woman. And so the Hot Quintet of de France, they also have a £5 off offer on their tickets. They're £25, but if you use the Facebook event promo code, you get them for 20. This will be a night to remember because the Henry Ward Hall is fantastic as a venue, and to see this quality of these musicians from all around the world, he brings them, don't miss it. So Kate Hodges, lovely Kate, thank you darling, she got in touch and said we've got an event at Tai May. Now Tai means storyteller. It's an old Celtic word, Gaelic word. So they are in George Street in the Old Town. The owner, Harriet Onslow Delaney, has this wonderful shop which is very much what's the word I want to use? Okay, I won't say it. Danny's back. So palmistry, that's it. So if I tell you it's about palmistry, sorry, I'm losing words today, which you'll see from the flyer above. So they have palmistry, they have transformational card hypnotism, card reading. So Danny is going to be on Saturday the 31st, 4:30 till 6:30, £12 plus booking fee. Palmistry for fun and profit, an introduction. So go and see. So that's basically the nature of the shop. They have all sorts of wonderful ethereal coastal things. You know what we like was a spiritual town. I was trying to think of the word spiritual. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Spiritual, crystals, cards, you name it, all the paraphernalia. So go and see them. So there's something lovely which I really want to go if we can. I'd really like to go. Mark Day, A Dusty Walk in Ibiza is his thing. We'll be spinning some chilled Ibiza tunes, CHOONS, at the Albion. Saturday on the seafront, Saturday seafront final. This Saturday from 3:00. I want to go because I really need some Ibiza chill. So that'd be lovely. Yeah, big shout out to all the other events in the town. So David Holmes was on, and I didn't know about it, at the Masonic Hall. So more fountains put that on. Let's Get It Together Festival was all over town.
Yeah.
Another little shout out for everybody that was involved with that, culminating with Omar at the White Rock Theatre, which would have been astonishing. I saw the photographs, but we couldn't attend. The incredible craft markets by James Matthew Thomas, as I mentioned earlier. Yeah, so that's a lot happening, really. Go and do it.
Plenty.
Do it.
Plenty, all right.
Yes, absolutely. What you got?
My last one is Afri-co-lab. So I wanted to just give them a shout. I bought this from Afri-co-lab's shop. They're also on the marina, and they are reopening their shop and are asking for makers and people who want to sell their wares to have a look. To sign up and send your work in to sign up and be able to sell through them. So, but yeah, this is just a wonderful snoot piece.
So you wrap it around.
Yeah, you kind of stick your head through.
Yeah.
It's like
Oh,
a big
yeah,
loop,
yeah.
and then it just sort of, yeah.
You could fashion
Yeah,
this,
I
couldn't
can
you?
fashion.
You can
I love
demonstrate.
a scarf.
And
So.
it's also what's so beautiful is
Like this. Yeah.
bring this out.
There we go.
This is gorgeous. This is the bit you're celebrating.
Mm.
But you've got this lovely soft fabric that's backing.
Yeah, on the inside. Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. I like it
Yeah.
so much.
So this is Lily and Anna Maria's organisation who made this before moving, I think, over to Hastings possibly, and they're now inviting others, and they have they've sold beautiful work there before, and it's really lovely to hear.
Oh, yeah, they're lovely in there.
Pop in. There's also, it's worth checking them out because they are offering all sorts of really wonderful creative endeavours. You can go and visit and talk to Khadija and use their workshop materials on a Wednesday. They have an open day on Wednesdays. They also have body positive yoga and Dara dance as well. Yeah, and all sorts of things going on. So it's just Get Lit, which is a literary event, always really beautifully curated. So yeah. Check them out.
They're lovely. They're very, very creative people. There's always a lot going on down there, isn't there? Yeah. So moving on, segueing slightly, we have to put embroidery's featured quite heavily today, hasn't it? So Polly KEATON, lovely, lovely woman. This woman has got her fingers in so many pies. So she's an embroiderer of note. Okay, she's been commissioned by the Muffin Club to make some pieces. So she's making 3 pieces for the quilt that is going to replace the quilt in the town hall. So they made a huge quilt hanging in the town hall of what the town represents, and they're remaking it. So she's part of the crew that would be doing that. And I think Arts on Prescription are a major, major part of that initiative. So well done, Tara and her gang. She's so good at this. She's getting involved with all the creative efforts. So Polly made work she made a room, didn't she, in Curious Town. She did the ones with the lovely hangings and the beautiful bedspreads. So she's also involved with Warming Up the Homeless. She's involved with the Comedy Festival. How many fingers have you got, Polly, in getting all the pies, love? So she must be bionic. We don't use that word anymore, do we? Back in that's the 70s word. People were bionic, weren't they? Yeah. She is now hosting with Nigel the Cactus Hound pub quiz.
Okay.
And if you don't know the
Cactus Hound quiz.
Try again. Cactus Hound pub quiz. We tried to say philanthropy earlier, didn't we? That was a miss.
Apothecary is another one. Apothecary.
Yeah. Apothecary, yeah. You just have to slow down for that one, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
We could be here all night with this. So she's Cactus Hound is not difficult, Patsy. Just say it. So she is hosting the pub quiz, 7:30. Teams of 6, £3 per person. It's weekly. Cactus Hound is on the corner of Warrior Gardens and Western Road. So it's as you come out of Warrior Square Station, it's there. If we still lived there, it would be our local, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't have
you
much
don't.
to say there. Really.
No, you didn't. You did.
Just, yeah.
Yeah, it would. Great. They do lovely tequila.
Mm-hmm.
But we're moving on from that. So so Nigel and Polly are the hosts. So they have rounds, including in this pub quiz, the cheese round,
Mm-hmm.
the tequila round, the Play-Doh round,
Sweet.
the WGAF round. Now, I'm going to throw that out. Do any of you know what the WGAF is? What it means?
No.
Right. So it's slang. So I'm hoping it's the same thing here. It's like, yeah, stuff that's happened. Yeah, it's just about stuff that's like,
Oh, I got it.
go on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Who gives
Yes.
Yeah.
So, but it's not that great. So yes, thank you for that. I just didn't want to add that little bit in because my mouth is pure. So they have a music round, an arts round, general rounds, and more. So go and visit because this is a new pub quiz. This is not the established, like the gigantic Old Town quiz, which is at Seed, which you must go to. But this is one our end of town as well. So we have pub quiz. There's also pub quiz in the St Leonard. We mustn't forget that. That's Tuesdays, I think. That's a choir night, so I can't manage that. I hope I got that right. Otherwise, it'll be on the errata for next week. So yes, go and do it. Yes. So I need to tell you what the Muffin Club is because you're probably thinking, what is that? So Lord Asquith was moaning years and years ago, as he would have been, because he's not alive anymore. That there weren't any muffin clubs locally, and muffin sellers, and you know the old "Have you seen the Muffin Man?"
Oh, yeah.
Muffin Man, Muffin Man. So when Hastings got back to Lord Asquith and said, "Well, you might not have them there, but we have them here," the Muffin Club was born. So and it's a community which is a charitable movement, and it helps projects, supports projects in Hastings and St Leonards. So yes, I love all these little clubs that you can dip a little bit of money out of here, a little bit out of there, but they're supporting Polly to do the embroidery. So you've got a pub quiz to go to out there. Go on,
Fantastic.
be there. We are hoping. What's today, Wednesday?
Yeah.
So just after this, we'll be once this is published, we'll be shooting off down the road to this. Have you got any more? Because I've got one more.
I was just going to say how excited I am about a couple of interviews that are coming up after this, because we've not mentioned yet that we've got Elouise from Bodyworks Hastings coming in, and Beverly Harling as well, talking about her work. So the two of them, it's just going to be a lovely thing to chat and find out a bit more about what they're up to.
Yeah.
And yeah, looking forward to all the other people in your green book, because we've got quite a few.
Oh, the book is
that are coming up. The book.
The book is full. All the people who either want to or are
That
playing.
you're thinking of, yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
we've got lots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just round up with day and the night shift. So we've got a new band in town, and I'm very excited because I do like some soul, some funk, and some blues. And this crowd of people, 5 musicians and 4 chanteuses. So chanteuse is
Singer.
singer,
Yeah.
female singer.
Mhm.
So, they were at the. I was just going to say the Barnabys.
The Barnabys.
They were at Barnaby's last week, and they had everybody up on their feet. So this week you've got an opportunity to see them at the Piper. So on the 30th, Friday night on the 30th, great harmonies. Day himself, Day, who's Day, and the night shift of the band. He's got a lovely voice, and he's our choir master. but he's now decided he's going to let everybody. Oh, you can let her in, yeah. Bring her in the green room.
I will.
So Day's is now decided he's going to venture out and he's just going to sing in front of other people now, which I love very much because his voice is very worthy. So yeah, so the song, the choices from the 60s and closer to now. So if you like your blues and soul and funk, Donny Hathaway style, Aretha Franklin and B.B. King, go and see them. They will not disappoint. They will be so much fun. So this Friday at the Piper, yes, in Norman Road. So Day's on vocals and guitar. Lou is on keys. She's a magician on the keyboard. You got Bill who's on guitar. You got Luke on drums. Rob on bass. Frankie, Katrina, Shannon, and Kate are your vocals. They all do solos and harmonies. So we'll hello.
Cheers.
Hello. We're gonna cheers. You're gonna come in and cheers us.
We'll all cheers.
Well, let's all cheers.
Let's all cheers.
So buy some coffee, everybody, and we will see you next week for week 19.
Hey.
Yay, our town has plenty. Woohoo!